First of all, proud of our football team for bouncing back after a tough defeat in week one. We came out and we played exceptionally well versus Jacksonville. We worked all week on our tempo, both offensively and defensively, and in our attack mode. And I really felt like we did a good job of coming out and just dominating the first half. Our players played extremely well and made some big-time plays. On a negative side, I think we had the ball hit the ground 3 times and lost one of those, so we got to do a better job of securing the ball. Our players of the week on offense was Tyree Devinson. I mean, everybody can see what we saw last year. Powerful running back, breaks a lot of tackles. And then defensively, Will Conway at linebacker. Will has struggled in the past against some triple option teams and really played well, really stuck to his assignments. And then our special teams player of the week was Cole Fisher. Cole kicked off where we needed to be and certainly made all his extra points and made a field goal there. I'd like to congratulate T. Mitchell for going over 2,000 yards. Certainly a big milestone there. And look forward to seeing what he and Tyree can do this year in the backfield. We got kind of a thunder lightning deal with those guys. So I'll take questions about that game, then we'll talk about Samford. It was very important after not having a whole lot of yards the week before. Very disappointed in the way we started, but you know, we came out against Jacksonville, and that was our our goal all week was to rush the ball. Anytime you're rushing the ball, it makes your quarterbacks more comfortable. I think one quarterback was 8 for 10, the other one was 8 for 11. So we were very efficient in the run game and in the pass game, and the reason is because we were efficient in the run game. So thought our offensive line did a really good job of identifying fronts this week, making some adjustments, and was proud of the way we did rush the ball. Well, it's great. It's tough to get live looks versus triple option. We're going to see some more teams down the road, but Jacksonville knows what they're doing. Coach Shields has done it for many, many years. They're very good at scheming and doing different things up front. But I really felt like we did a good job. We really didn't give up any explosion plays, which was big, because normally when you play in that type of offense, you're going to give up a pass or two or maybe a run or two that goes for a long yardage. But I thought we did a really good job of hemming them up. I thought it was great. I really, when you look at what all we do here at Mercer, and I mentioned it in one of my tweets yesterday, you got the cheerleaders, the band, the Mercer Maniacs, the dance team, our fans. Everybody is the pageantry of college football, and it's right here in Macon, Georgia. And our athletic department does such a great job. We come running out of town, there's smoke, there's fireworks, we score, there's fireworks. So it really is a great setting, especially at nighttime. And I think our players feed off that, but I was really extremely pleased with our crowd and them getting here early and be ready to go. Yeah, well, first of all, Coach Hatcher and his staff do an outstanding job. They made the playoffs last year, had a really good run. There's a reason they're the unanimous preseason all-conference selection to win the conference. They're a veteran team. You look at their offense, they've got 10 starters back on offense, 6 seniors and 4 juniors, and I think 1 sophomore starts. And then on defense, they start 5 seniors and 5 seniors and 5 juniors and 1 sophomore. So when you look at the tape, you recognize numbers, and anytime you recognize numbers, that means these guys have been playing a while. So they got a really good football team, and it all starts with a guy named Delvin Hodges. We all saw what Aaron Rodgers did last night. This guy is like the Aaron Rodgers of FCS football, just by the way he can extend plays, the way he can throw different arm angles. The guy is a phenomenal player. Glad he's a senior. Kelvin McKnight is an explosive receiver they've got. He's the best in our league and one of the best in the country. And then on defense, it all starts with Ahmad Gooden, number 99, a defensive end that can create havoc in the pass game and the run game. So don't sleep on Samford's defense. They get a lot of notoriety on the offense, but I tell you what, their defense is really good, and the way they played Florida State that night was impressive. Well, I hope we didn't learn anything because we didn't play very well. But anytime we've been over Samford, we know we're going to see, we know what we're going to get. They've had basically the same staff. They've got probably about 5 or 6 staff members, same staff members they've had in the last 6 years or so, and same as us. And so we know scheme-wise kind of what we're going to get, but it's difficult to stop it. They spread you out so much. They attack you in different areas. It's a short passing game. Quarterback gets it out quick. and then you leave the box unloaded, and they're going to run the ball. Our defense has got to really play well. I thought our defense played well last year. We're going to have that same type effort. And then offensively, we've got to do some things like we did 2 years ago when we kept the ball away from them a little bit. We ended up with about 90 plays. And so it'll be a great Southern Conference battle. It's the first one of the year. And, to get to the championship, you got to go through Birmingham this year. Well, I think if you look at the progression of your season, obviously the first game it was out of the way. We put that behind us. Second game against Jacksonville, we really played well. So you got to build on the things that you do well. We built off some things we did in the second half versus Memphis, and we really did a good job of it on Saturday night versus Jacksonville. So now it's on to the Southern Conference. It's on to a different opponent, a different scheme offense, different scheme defense, and so. It all goes back to our training. We tell our players all the time, listen, there are going to be things that you see during the game that you haven't seen before, but it all goes back to your training, your technique, your fundamentals, the thing that these coaches have taught you. So I think our guys will be ready to go. They're excited about playing football. They're excited about playing in the Southern Conference, and so we're looking for a great trip, and hopefully we can play well. Well, the plan going in was our first 2 games, obviously, to let both the young men play, and whoever had the hot hand, we would certainly go with that young man. And obviously, if you saw the Memphis game, Robert had the hot hand, and so we went with him in the second half. Now, both of them played extremely well the other night. They made some good decisions. The things I was proud of most is when it was not there, they tucked the ball and ran. They got some good key yardage out of our quarterback position, which is good. So we're going to evaluate this week in practice and probably make a decision at the end of the week and see what route we'll go as far as our quarterbacks. But the way I look at it, we got 2 very good quarterbacks, and now they've got 2 games of experience. Kalen had a whole year last year, so Robert is gaining valuable experience every time he plays. Well, I'd like to name a starter, but at this point in time, we're not ready to do that. Like I said, we evaluated every snap last week in practice, and we put Robert in the first the game the other night. This week we'll evaluate again, and then we'll make a decision which way we're going to go. But I feel comfortable that both quarterbacks know our system now, and both can run it. So it's just a matter of how we want to go, and we'll probably let everybody know at the end of the week. Absolutely. The defensive line is probably the best in the SoCon. It starts with Ahmad Gooden, but they've got some other good players up front, and that was the thing that was most impressive. Anytime you're playing a big-time, Power 5 school, it's hard to match up in the trenches on both sides of the ball because they're bigger, stronger, and faster there. But I thought Samford really did a great job of doing that up front, and that was pretty impressive. And really, until the fourth quarter there, they were hanging in there, and they were actually driving to go ahead, and then the guy just jumped the hitch route and ran it back for a touchdown, and the game was kind of over. But the way they played Florida State, both offensively and defensively, is pretty impressive, and certainly our guys have been studying that tape all week. Well, both David and Tony really have stepped up since the first day they got here. They walked out there, and you really, from the way they walk, the way they practice, you could tell that they were ready to go, and they're not your typical freshman. So I was really pleased with their effort. David finally got a couple of catches the other night. Tony's very reliable. I think the very first 3rd down and 5, we hit Tony over there on the sideline. He runs great routes, very heady young man, very, very smart. Both of them are smart and can pick up the offense. That's number one. And number 2, they're both competitive, which makes it a difference there as being a true freshman. So we're going to continue to push those guys along, and we're playing a lot of receivers. We got a lot of receivers, which is good. Marquise probably played a little bit too much. We got to take a little load off him, but I think our receiver position is pretty deep this year, even though we lose Edmund Graham. I still feel the same. I'm still getting old. No, when you reflect back on it, my first win was against Elam. Well, my first loss, you always remember your losses. My first loss was against Vanderbilt. Actually, my Coach Johnson, Bobby Johnson, had just taken the Vanderbilt job, and we had to play Vanderbilt in the first game, so we lost that game, and then we won against Elon at home. It was my first win there, I guess, in 2002. And it's been a great ride, but it takes, as I said the other night, it takes a great staff, a great bunch of football players, great support staff, great support from administration to get to this point. So it was a fun night after the game. Had a little fun up here in the field house with a little party, but that's all out of the way now, and we can move forward and work on 101. All right, thank you, guys.
It was very important. As everyone knows, we had a poor performance at Memphis. It was in all week. We were just focusing on. They were a triple option team. We were focusing on just doing our job and making plays within the scheme and just trusting the coaches and trusting what we do and just coming out and doing what we do. So it's very important to come out and get that win and show that we are still the defense that we came into camp thinking we were. So it was good to get a win and show that we really are the LOC still and that we have potential and we just got to keep working and keep on moving forward. Oh, it's always great playing in Five Star Stadium. Like we always say, we're a Middle Georgia team and our fans come out and support, and it's always good to get the hometown team a win and the fans show the fans that we show love that they support us, and getting a win for them is always big. We just have to come out and do our job like we always do. We can't try to make plays outside of our scheme. We have to just come out and do what we're coached to do, and we'll be all right. We just got to trust our coaches and play fast and be the LOC. It's always good coming out getting a win, but like we always say, 1-0 is our mantra. We can't focus on last week. We just got to focus on getting the win this week. And it's always good because they had a good game against Florida State, so it's going to be a lot of momentum coming to this game. We got momentum coming off the last game, so it's going to be a great battle on Saturday. It really doesn't change our mindset that much because we always go into every week trying to be 1-0. But it's definitely going to be a big game. Every SoCon game is like a championship game, a must-win. So we have to go in, do our job, and we'll be all right. We just have to go out and play. We learned a lot about ourselves at Memphis. We learned that we have some weaknesses we have to work on. We learned that we have to come out and play fast from the start. But we can't think about Memphis anymore. We got to put that in the back of our mind. We just got to focus on coming out this week, playing fast, being ready for the challenge that Samford is going to present, and just play our ball. They move fast. They have a good quarterback. They have a lot of skilled guys on the outside, a lot of talent. So we just got to come out, try to contain the offense, and just stop them when we need get stops when we need to get stops, get 3 and outs, play fast, play our brand of ball, and we'll be okay. Coming into that game, I had kind of a chip on my shoulder because last year my eyes weren't really good against the triple option last year, and I was trying to make plays outside the scheme. So it was good to come back and kind of redeem myself that game and get some tackles. But I learned that just doing my job and inside of the scheme of the defense, plays will come. And I just want to thank the D-line and all the guys around me, the rest of the LOC defense, because without them, I wouldn't be able to have a game like that. Oh, yeah, I'm like it way more than Memphis. Memphis was a long ride. Samford's a little bit closer, so that's always good.
All right. Thank you, Will.
All right, thank y'all.
Well, you can't do anything without running first. So that was definitely first priority, and I think we achieved the mission. It's really big, actually. Momentum is like one of the strongest things in football. So we're going to try to, ride this wave. A lot of emphasis on execution. Execution, take the coaching, basically. We made those mistakes. We flushed the game, but we didn't forget the lessons. Mindset doesn't change. You get in front of somebody, block them. Football is football. Our coaches have a funny saying where around every Tuesday, Wednesday, they say, we got the biggest game that we've ever played because it's the next game. So, every game counts for one win or a loss. So, that's how we look at it. 1-0. Of course, you got to rise to every occasion.
All right. Thank you, Austin.
Thanks,
Good stuff. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks.